Texas should also have a vibe to themselves of, hey, this should be the year where we go win a national championship. Look in Vegas, Texas right now is the second best odds. And I think when you play this out a little bit further for Texas, it's sort of flown under the radar because it's only his first year as starting quarterback, but Arch Manning, there's no reason he can't leave after this year. Now, would it surprise me if the Manning camp said, hey, Arch will run it back for one more year? No, because that just would fall right in line with, I think, what we know about them thus far. They're all about him being the most prepped he can possibly be for the NFL. But still, if Arch Manning balls out, he can be the top pick in the draft, like ML Football and Dog Kleiman are trying to tell you, shout out to them, it would happen. It could definitely happen. But my point in all this is, if Arch Manning gets you to the college football playoff, win a game or two, make the semis, and then he's off to the draft, wouldn't it feel just a little bit underwhelming for all of the hype, whether it's deserved or undeserved, thrown towards him and thrown towards what he was going to be at Texas, if that's all you leave with? So my point here is, like, if you're Texas, let's not live with that regret, dude. Let's go get this thing done this year. There's no reason not to. On top of that, Texas has made the semis now each of the last 2 years in the 4-team model and the 12-team model of the playoff. I want to be careful how I say this, but if Texas makes the semis yet again and they don't advance to the national championship, I'm not saying Sark's in trouble. I'm not saying Texas is in trouble. Do not put words in my mouth. What I'm saying is, I think momentum is a fickle mistress. I think momentum does not like to be kept waiting. And right now, Texas has momentum. If they make the semis, though, for the third year in a row and don't get into the college football national championship, would that not feel a little bit like, well, why not? And we don't agree with this, but I'm telling you, some folks would jump on those debate shows and say, Sark can't win the big one. Now, you and I both know that's not the case. They were on the 2-yard line with a chance to go punch it in and send Ohio State to a tie game. Beside the point, you hear what I'm saying. That would be something that would be said around Steve Sarkisian. We don't agree with that, but the optics and the lack of momentum from that would be a missed opportunity. That's all I'm trying to say. The opportunity is here now. The iron is hot. Let's not do this thing where we play it out another 2 years and say, Texas has got a great roster. Can they go win a national championship? Texas will always, I think, as long as Sark is there and as long as they are continuing to commit to roster building and talent acquisition the way they are, they're always going to have a top-tier roster. But with the spot they're at right now from a momentum perspective, the iron is hot. I think you got a quarterback to go get it done. The pushback on this could be, well, JD, is it really the year? Because we look at what Texas brings back in like 103rd in returning production, 29% of that production from last year is back on offense. Not a great number. I understand why that's maybe a little bit concerning, but I think this is kind of just new college football. With the way the portal works and how much player mobility we have right now, I don't think you're going to see the Ohio State situation where they just got a ready-made roster going to a national championship. I don't think we're going to see a lot of those Monstar-ish kind of setups for Ohio State or for anyone really going forward. I think, honestly, rosters, as much as there's going to be some top-end talent, the depth is going to always be imperfect to some degree. So my point in all this is, if you're talking about Steve Sarkisian and going to a national championship, let's go find a way to make it work. Let's go find a way to get it done. Because I do think the roster in and of itself, like I said already, is good enough to go win a national championship. Good enough might just have to be where you're at right now. Good enough, get in the dance, get hot, win your matchups, and go win a national championship. I'm oversimplifying this, but I do think that's where Texas is right now. So just like you were against Ohio State, chance to punch it in, keep on playing ball. Maybe in that spot you put Ohio State on their heels and you go win the game. I don't know, but you got a chance right now, metaphorically speaking, to go punch it in. With this roster, with what you have back on defense, it's all right there. It's all right there. Let's not live with regret if we're Texas.